One. Hi, I'm Josh,
And I'm Adrian.
and today we have more Big Brother tea to spill.
And today we are spilling on episode 15, which brings us to the next veto ceremony, where unfortunately we already know that we have Brittany and Sarah Beth on the block. From last episode, we know that there's a backdoor operation trying to get Christian out. Today we're going to be able to see whether or not that plays out. So let's dive right into this episode. As usual, the episode starts right after the nomination ceremony where they go into their DRs and give their quick thoughts about being on the block. As usual, we do have Brittany that's crying. She has a really moment in the DR where she's like, I'm going to win the veto and I have to take the power back into my hands, get off the block. We already know how that she goes afterwards, goes to the room and cries. Derek X then goes into a confessional in between Sarah Beth and Brittany, and he lets the viewers know that they are just pawns. Like, he really wants Christian out. So at this point in the episode, we still are on the same from last episode as Christian being a pawn. Sarah Beth is actually really surprised that she's on the block. She wasn't expecting Derek X to take a shot at the Royal Flush Alliance super fast, but that she will be going for the veto to remove herself. But she's very surprised.
Really quick thing on that. I don't think it's really that surprising that he took that shot just because they're about to hit jury and the Royal Flush is like a huge, like the jury pretty much would make up the Royal Flush. So like he has to make a shot.
Right.
Like
right.
It's not that surprising. It's just it was bound to happen. So anyway.
So the episode kind of moves on like super fast. We reach a point in time in the episode where the Kings get together and they have not room and they're questioning whether there's something bigger going on because they're confused why Derek X did what he did. They're all visibly upset. They are not happy. Xavier is saying the moment that he has the first chance to take a shot at Derek X, he's going to take it. We have Alyssa talking to Sarah Beth, talking about veto. Christian's asking questions. And one of those questions that he asks is, would Sarah Beth choose him if she got House Guest choice, which she does.
Right.
I mean, at this point in the episode, we still don't know what's coming. Well, Sarah Beth and the former Kings Alliance don't know what's coming. Us as viewers, we do know what's coming.
Right.
So they all kind of give her like this feeling she's going to get saved by one of the former Kings. So Sarah Beth is thinking, I'm good to go. Like, they're all mad at Derek X. They're all telling me they're going to save me. So she's good to go. Which then it brings us to a very comical point in the episode. Her being Sarah Beth and Derek X, they go into the HOH room and they don't say a word. Like, they're just staring at each other. It's awkward. They're both staring at the floor, which to us is pretty funny, but to Sarah Beth, it's a plan that she had in her mind that worked for her favor, because her plan was, I'm just going to sit here and be awkward until he breaks and tells me what I need to know.
And then she did it with like the little glass. She did it with like the little glasses on too, like just so that way she doesn't have to like face it like head on kind of thing. Like she would just like, that's like a poker face kind of thing.
Yeah, she was just kind of sitting there like, didn't say anything.
Yep.
But Derek X ends up breaking. And the first thing he tells her is, I don't want you to go home. You are not the target. So he goes in and explains why he couldn't nom 2 jokers, because he felt like if he nommed 2 jokers, he was going to lose them as allies, and that they had made a promise that he could nom 1 joker and they had to nominate somebody else. He also then breaks the news that his target for the week is Christian, which is her former teammate.
Right.
So
Not really
then,
shocking.
no, it's not. We see Sarah Beth kind of go into the diary room confessional, and she's saying how she is not against the plan. She's just going to do whatever she has to do, even if it's backstab her team to stay safe and get off the block. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Like, she even mentioned it in a confessional. I'm playing my own game. Like, yeah, I was in this alliance, but I've been playing an individual game for myself. So she's going to do whatever she has to do to remain safe.
So this is the point where I admired Sarah Beth from like the first like freaking impression that I got from her, because I knew that she was gonna float around and she was gonna get rid of people as she needed to, and it's just part of the game. That's all it is. Like,
right.
And that's good.
That.
Yeah. Like she's honestly like right here. Like she's like on the fine line of being like a hero or a villain, because she is a hero where people love her to a certain extent, but then as the episodes go on, she's really getting into that villain territory, which I love. Just because I'm like, she's so sneaky. Like I love it.
Right.
Can't hate it.
And so, right. So she's okay. She's okay with Derek X taking the shot at Christian. She does think it's a little early, but she's okay with it. She's gonna vote him out if that's what she has to do.
Right.
So then Derek X knows that he has a lot of damage control with his Royal Flush Alliance with the Kings. So he takes them into the HOH room, and he is trying to convince them that Brittany is the target. And at first, it seems like nobody's believing him, but towards the end of the conversation,
why would Brittany be the target though? I mean, come on, like honestly, like that's kind of where, I mean, okay, Derek X did okay in his in this round, because he won HOH. He got 2 people on the block. He was able to success, maybe backdoor someone that he wanted to, and he's trying to stay safe before that even happens, right? So he's trying to tell them like, no, it's Brittany. That's very classic, very good Big Brother gameplay. But it's also like, dude, no one believes that Brittany is the target. Why would you, out of everybody, target Brittany? Like Brittany is like, I mean, I don't to be rude or anything, but she's not a target. She just cries. Like literally, you just say her name, Brittany, and she'll go crying. And like it's
not only that, but she hasn't won anything up to this point. Like,
well, she won the veto.
Like,
she won the veto, but that.
Oh. Spoiler alert. She wins the veto, but up to this point,
right,
she had not won anything.
Right.
But I mean, the Kings and the Royal Flush Alliance that he's talking to, they seem to think this is a good plan. They think Brittany really is the target. They're talking about, we're going to get Sarah Beth off the block, and you're going to put up 2 jokers, like Brittany's going to go home. So, I mean, it's working in his favor.
If Derek had told me, honestly, if I was in that house and he would have been like, hey, like, don't worry, like, Brittany's the target, I'd be like, and I'm like, guys, he's fucking full of shit. He's going for one of us. Like, there's no way that Derek X is coming for Brittany. Like, we're going from like the biggest comm threat to like the weakest comm threat. They're coming to each other. That makes no sense. Like, I would not believe that, not even a little bit. I'd be like, yeah.
And then, so then they're all in the room. They're still in the room. And Alyssa, in front of everybody, tells Sarah Beth, hey, if I get to play in the veto and I win, I'm going to take you off the block. And then we see Sarah Beth go into a confessional, and she's like, Alyssa using the veto on me is beneficial to me, but she's kind of putting her best ally on the block. Right. She's like, but I'm going to stay quiet about it because it benefits me.
Right.
So I see the sneakiness that Sarah Beth is doing because even though they're like allies and stuff like
Sarah,
that, like
Sarah Beth, it's kind of surprising that you even say that because Sarah Beth is one of the sneakiest girls in that fucking house right now. She probably is the sneakiest girl in that house right now.
right, like
She is.
she has information and she's not spreading it and she's playing a good poker face because had they told
Mhm.
me, hey, we're gonna put up one of your allies, I'd be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'd be freaking out. But she's just like straight faced,
Right,
like I don't know anything. She's
right.
staying quiet, she's not talking to anybody. Like she's playing beautifully right
She
now.
is. She really
Beautifully.
is. Yep.
But that's all about to change because we go into the veto. And the veto, it consists of Derek X, Alyssa does get chosen, Sarah Beth, Claire, Brittany, and then Kylan gets chosen, which this makes Derek X super happy because he can't let Christian play, let alone win, because he is backdoor operation.
Right.
So the plan is going to plan. Everything's going. Now we just have to get to the veto. Now the veto is one of those like little knockout rounds that whenever you lose, you get a prize that somebody else can come steal from you whenever
Hmm.
they lose. And then like it starts off with a veto.
Right.
So um while the veto players are getting picked, Sarah Beth really wants to choose Kylan because she knows Kylan and her have a final two, and they potentially are working together, and he's going to take her off the block.
Right.
On the other hand, Brittany does not want to choose Kylan because she knows he's going to take Sarah Beth off the block, and I need to come off the block. Well, the person who ends up choosing Kylan is kind of comical because she just finished saying that she doesn't want to pick Kylan. She picks Kylan, which now the veto starts, and like I said, it's one of those competitions you lose, you get kicked out, you get a prize, you get a punishment, so on and
Hmm.
so forth. So the first one to lose the competition is Claire. And let me talk a little bit about this. This girl is literally getting on my nerves. We know you are safe till jury. That does not give you the opportunity just to throw comps. Like if all you're worried about is getting to jury, I really do hope she gets evicted next because that's apparently where she wants to be.
Well, okay, but
Because
see, that's where it gets tricky because she is so, and it's becoming more common now. I mean, it's been a thing for a while, but people have been saying that there's a difference between a floater and a coaster. So, like, a floater is someone like Sarah Beth who is kind of floating around but knows what's going on, and then there's a coaster who's just literally coasting, not knowing what's happening. And Claire has definitely falling into that stereotype. She's a coaster. She's literally just there. Unless there's like some alliance that we're like not aware of, what does she have to offer to the game? Nothing. Like
throwing
nothing.
comps, that's all she's good for is throwing comps. This is the second one in a row that she's throwing because she knows she's safe.
She's like not
Like
doing anything. Like honestly, like it's so disappointing because when she came in, like I remember we both said that she was so good and she was gonna be so fun to watch and this was a good alternative. And like whatever, maybe she is. Like, I'm not talking shit about her like as a person. I'm just talking about her as a game player. Like she sucks. Like I wish that she
right.
would like step it up and be like, hey, like I'm here to play. Like I'm not just here for jury. Like I want to win. Like I have no idea who the fuck she's alive with.
Probably nobody because the royal flush. She thinks the royal flush is going to protect her for long term.
She's like
Um,
at the bottom of the totem pole. Like it's ridiculous. I'm just like I'm so over
right
her.
now, like this is the okay. Now that you know you're safe till jury, this is when you want to start building a resume. Like, so what do you
Exactly.
expect? Get to the final two and be like, I didn't win any comps. I wasn't aligned with anybody. I just got here because I just got here by luck. Like that's not
Right.
going to get you $750,000. Like I don't
Definitely
know what
not.
type of game she's playing, but it sucks. And like
Right.
whenever I saw her go into the confession and said, I'm gonna throw this comp because I'm safe till jury. Like I'm like, I'm so over you. Like, why can't
Right.
they just like evict you now? Like, can we please switch spots with Sarah Beth and put you on the block? Because it's
Right.
just pointless.
It's
Other people do
offensive.
want to play, girl.
It's offensive. Like I could easily take your spot and I would still like I don't care where I'm at in the fucking game. Like I'm still gonna compete because I want to win. Like there's no way I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna chill here. And that's like a million, like that's millions of people that want to play this game, and you're just like, oh, I'm okay, I'm fine.
Right.
Okay, who made you like the freaking like big brother person that just gets to sit around? Like that's stupid. I hate people like that. Honestly, I don't. Like if she makes it to final, she's not getting my like. If she makes it to the final and Neville's in the jury, she would not get my vote. If she gets to the final and for some reason America gets to make the vote, she's not getting my vote.
Right.
She
No, she
she
doesn't
hasn't
deserve
deserved
this
it.
win. From the things she's done so far, she has no winning qualities whatsoever.
Nope, not at all.
Like, so we're just gonna hope that she gets evicted soon. Um,
Yep.
so she's the first one that comes out. She opens her prize. Of course, this type of competition always starts with a veto. The first person that loses gets the veto. Obviously, it's going to get stolen. Other people are going to come down and steal the veto.
Right.
So then we start next round. And this next round gives us, the viewers, such a beautiful sight with Kylan. He is
Oh boy.
making some moves with his body in some short ass shorts, with his big bulge just sticking out, just getting twirled
You are
around.
you are sounding like Derek F there, sir.
Yeah, even Derek F notices
Derek,
it, and
yeah.
I I felt exactly what Derek F was. Now I'm a little jealous of Derek F because he actually got to see it like in person. Like I would have been like, okay, this is my chance. Like as soon as this video, I'm gonna tap on the shoulder and be like, hey, do you want to go to like the supply closet just for a little bit? Like
This is my co-host here, guys. So embarrassing.
I'm outspoken. I'm sorry.
No filter here.
No, not at all. But I really want to write. I really want to read and tell y'all exactly what I wrote on my notes. It's not appropriate. Like it's not appropriate at all. But when I was reading it,
Yeah.
I was just fantasizing and thinking. So I wrote some stuff that obviously I'm not going to read because Josh is going to get very embarrassed right now. But we're moving on from sexy Kylan's big bulge to
Well,
Sarah
I think the
Beth.
reason why, yeah, because yeah, just leave him alone. Let him be his own. Let him pick his his lifelong partner. Okay.
Well, whoever his partner is a very lucky person. Anyways, moving on from that, we have, unfortunately, Sarah Beth loses the veto. And this is where she starts making some questionable moves. Because even me, that she's my favorite, I had to be like, girl, what are you doing? So
Yeah.
she loses the comp. She goes to her blocker, and her prize is $5,000. Now,
That's
she
right.
has the option. Am I going to take these $5,000 or I'm going to take the veto? Now, any right person who's sitting on the block is obviously going to, steal the veto from the person who's holding it right now. And she decides to take the $5,000 and pass up on the veto. Now, her reasoning for it makes sense. I get it. But girl, it's a punishment. Like it's going to last 24 hours, maybe a week, but it's not to the end of the game, right?
I think she did it because she was comfortable, like you said. Like she just I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like she just kind of wanted to like throw like a little nudge at some of the people that were trying to comfort her, like, you think you're gonna get rid of me? You're not gonna get rid of me, kind of thing. Like she was just kind of trying to display her power because she does have power. She has a lot of power in the house right now, and like people are trying to get rid of her, but it's not gonna work.
Right.
Especially
But at the same
Tiffany.
time,
Mm-hmm.
it caused Alyssa to get super upset. And she's like, girl, you're on the block. You needed to steal this veto. Like, this is your lifeline in this game, and you're passing it up for $5,000. So Alyssa's annoyed at Sarah Beth for choosing the $5,000. Um, I want to say that she was still going to use the veto on Sarah Beth, but it was questionable at that point because she was very visibly upset and bothered by that decision.
This is where Sarah Beth gets into like the villain, though. She gets into villain status because she's like, you know what, like, I appreciate that Alyssa wants to use the veto on me, but I don't need it. I think I'm okay. She might be getting a little cocky, but she did come across like, you know what, I don't need the I don't need you to save me, unfortunately. Like,
Right.
thank you, but I don't need it. Like, I have both. Like, I'm good.
I I think that at that point she already knew that Christian was a back door, so she was like, "There's already something
Mm-hmm.
bigger. I really don't need this much help." But
Right.
girl, like even if the plan goes successfully and Christian gets back door, you're still playing this game and you're putting a target on your back, a target you really don't need at this moment. Not with a giant cookout alliance that's targeting people for the wrong reasons. You don't need to add fuel to a flame that's already there, even though you don't know that fuel is there. You still don't need to be adding stuff.
But I can't blame her though. Because I feel like Sarah Beth is like that kind of person. She's just like, I'm here, you come for me, you don't, kind of thing. Like, I like that kind of vibe. I'm not mad at it. Like, I like that she just owns up to like her strength kind of thing. And she's just like, you want to come for me, come for me. If you don't, you don't. Like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird to explain, honestly. But I don't.
Yeah. So then she makes another questionable move again with these $5,000 because when Derek X loses the challenge, he gets a punishment and he wants to take Sarah Beth's $5,000. Like he's gonna, you know,
Yep.
steal her prize, and she starts begging him like, "Oh my God, please don't take my $5,000. Like I'm begging you, like girl, like you're putting yourself in a very bad spot. Like
Yep.
don't do that." So at this point in the episode, we know Derek X doesn't want to win the veto because he doesn't want to make the decision to take somebody off the block and put Christian. He wants somebody else to win, so it looks like he's forced to use the veto. So at the very end, he ends up taking the power of veto, which at the moment Kylan had it. He takes it from Kylan and gives the punishment to Kylan. And then as the veto goes on, people start losing. As we already know, Brittany wins power of veto. So she's all excited about that. No more tears. It's back cockiness of Brittany that as soon as she gets something her way, she's like overly dramatic and over the top.
Annoying.
But right.
Yep.
So then backdoor operation is starting to take place. So Derek X now has to start gathering his votes because he knows he's about to put up Christian. So he then decides to tell Alyssa, "Hey, I'm about to put up Christian," to which she tries to divert. She's like, "That's not good for your game. You're making a terrible mistake." She tells Christian. Christian's visibly upset. He's pissed actually about Derek X's plans. And then Alyssa comes up with this elaborate plan, which kind of almost screws up everything for Sarah Beth because Alyssa's in his ear. She's like, "This is not good for you. This is not good for you." Enough to where Derek X is like, maybe I should put up Derek F instead of Christian on the block. And obviously, Sarah Beth can't tell Derek X at the time, "Hey, stick with your plan," because Alyssa's standing in the same group. But as soon as Alyssa walks away, Sarah Beth is like, "No, you have to take your shot. Like, this is your one chance. Do not put Derek F. You have to stick with Christian." And the only reason she's doing that is because she knows you put a Derek F next to me, I'm going home. Like,
right. She's smart, of course.
Right.
Yeah,
and this is again another
brother.
sneaky moment because she's full on backstabbing her alliance right now. She knows what's about to happen, but she's only thinking of herself now. Like it's no longer a team thing. So Christian is talking to everybody. He's talking to Derek, to Xavier. He's talking to Derek F. And he's telling everybody the same thing, which is basically, if I go on the block, I know I'm going home. Like, we need to stop this from happening. I cannot be on the block. But
Right.
Ultimately, the episode ends on like in an unusual way because they don't actually show us the veto ceremony. It kind of ends
Right.
before,
Right.
and that doesn't normally happen. So at this point, we know Veto is going to get used, but we don't know if Christian's still going up on the block. It's still kind of in limbo, which we know as viewers, we know
Right.
Christian's about to hit the block. So that's just how the episode ends. It's very unawkward.
Yep.
So I guess we can get into your list because I don't have my list. I didn't make one. I got
Me
really
neither.
behind.
I did too, but I mean, obviously, I'm just gonna make it as I go because like I'm kind of okay with thinking on my feet. So Callie gets first, Sarah, Beth gets second. Those are my two favorites. Like they're the biggest contenders. Alyssa is still up there, honestly. She's still third because Alyssa is like trying to hold on to Christian, but she just knows that it's not gonna work anymore. So she just kind of has to like do what she can to save face. Next one, I have to go with Derek X. I mean, the fact that he made a big move, he had to do it. You know, there was no reason for him not to do it. Like it just makes sense. After that, I'm gonna go with Derek F. I think Derek F again is kind of like slowly coming up the ladder a little bit because he's kind of starting to see some things that are just like,
Base it on this episode, Joshua.
Well, but I've been saying it for a while though. Like I have been saying it. Like I feel like Derek X is like, Derek X is just kind of like he's observing things, and I'm just like, besides the other people, I'm just like, you know what, like I can see it. After that, I will say that Christian, as much as whatever, he did do his best to stick around. After that, I'll go with Xavier. Because Xavier is kind of like just in the middle at this point. He's just not really like anywhere. And then these people, I'm just like putting them, however, just based on how they're acting. Tiffany really went down.
Unfortunately, if I had a
exactly.
list, Tiffany would continue to be on the bottom. I know that in my last list, she was at the bottom. She will continue to be at the bottom just because she's starting to rub me the wrong way. Like, she's no longer a housemaid in this house. She's kind of being like a dictator, and it's not going to work for her. And it's not. It's rubbing me the wrong way.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 people now, right? Because we lost 4. Yeah. Okay. So let me just go through it. So Kevin, Sarah, Beth, Alyssa, and Derek X are my top 4. You know, for obvious reasons. I think Kevin, Sarah, Beth, and Alyssa are going to stay up there until they prove me otherwise. Derek X kind of is still up there just because, I mean, he's a bold person. Like, you know, he's still kind of iffy. Derek F, I feel like he's still kind of moving up just because I feel like he's kind of starting to catch up on some stuff. And to be fair, he's kind of been like laying low key, but he's still observing. So that's like a good quality to have. Christian is right after him just because Christian kind of goes back and forth. Like he wasn't the weakest player, he's not the strongest player. As of right now, he's the biggest comp threat, it seems like, besides Derek X. And Derek X sees that, and that's why he has to get rid of Christian. So can't blame Christian for that. Xavier is just a charmer. He's there. People think that he's pretty. He's there to look at, kind of thing. Like he's somewhat of a comp threat, but he's not like wow, you know. So he's just kind of there. Tiffany, again, just going down. I feel like she's getting too confident too fast. She's trying to make moves that are not there yet. She's trying to come for Beth, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, but it's not gonna work. Maybe, I don't know. And then Azah sucks. Like as a person, I'm sure she's cool as a person. As a game player, she fucking sucks. I do not like her gameplay at all. She's aligning with what a disappointment.
Right. We had such big hopes for Azah, and it's just been a huge letdown.
Like I feel like if me and you look at like all the episodes that we have, like we literally started with episode like 1 and like saying like Azah is like number 1 or number 2, like she's gonna do so great. And like she is such a letdown.
Right.
It sucks. She is such a letdown in so many ways. And like next episode is even worse. I'm just like, yeah, Azah, I'm just like, whatever. Brittany, again, I'm just so fucking tired of her crying. Like sorry. If she wins this season, I'm like not even gonna watch Big Brother anymore. Like, I'm sorry, but Brittany does not deserve to win. She cries too much. She has not done anything. She's, whatever. She's a good person, but game wise sucks. Claire sucks. Hannah sucks. I feel like a lot of people like love Hannah because she's like the low key one, and like she's like kind of like manipulating Derek X a little bit.
It's a
but
bad attitude.
I cannot stand that attitude. She's just like so like she thinks she's too good for
I would not
everybody.
get along with her in real life.
Me neither.
Like I just
Like
couldn't.
even if I did, like I think if it wasn't this game, I would have been like, you know what, bitch, like you're going up, like you have to go. Like I would have been like freaking pushing for her to go, and like I think that's what Sarah Beth was trying to do, and like for some reason it didn't work. But I feel like if Sarah Beth wins next, like this is like the biggest rivalry so far. If you haven't been able to tell, Sarah Beth versus Hannah, who's gonna go first? Because Hannah has said she's like, Sarah Beth is coming for me. I'm not stupid. I know that she is. And Sarah Beth is like, I know that people talk, and I know that she knows that I'm coming for her, but I'm gonna play it cool with her. Like they're both like coming for each other. They're just trying to like they're being kind of petty, and it's kind of fun to see because they're being so fake with each other. But you know that they want to come for each other. Like as soon as one of them wins HOH, they're gonna fucking like slit their throat,
At each other up.
and it's gonna be
Right,
so
yes.
it's gonna be so awesome to see. Like I'm just like so anxious to see who's gonna win. Because if Hannah wins, I know she's gonna put up Sarah Beth. If Sarah Beth wins HOH, she's gonna go for Hannah. Like it's gonna happen.
Right.
And that's
I
gonna be so
agree.
exciting to see. Yeah. So, but I mean, I'm Sarah Beth. Like I'm team Sarah Beth. So like if she wins, great. Get rid of Hannah. It's your time. Get rid of her. So yeah, that was my little
Right.
speech.
So like we said, I don't have a list just because I got super busy with work and life and other projects, but my list would have been a little bit different. I will have one for the next episode because it has changed a bit. But for now, my prediction is Christian's gonna go on the block. Christian's gonna get evicted. It's my prediction for next episode.
Yep.
But I guess we shall wait and see if my prediction comes right. Is that your same prediction?
Yep. So we'll find out until next time.
Until next time.